Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to this video creative challenge. I'm Fabiola Lara. I'm an illustrator and content creator. And today I'm going to be showing you how to create a seamless vertical looping video. So this way you have videos like for Reels or TikTok that just loop instantly. So let's get right into our project for today. Let's head on over. I am going to give you first an example of the kind of work that we're creating today, so you know exactly what our goal is. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to get there. So let me play this through. I'm actually going to play it. I'm going to play it from like the end so you can see what's happening from the middle. No, from the beginning. That makes the most sense. Sketchbook time. Today in my sketchbook, I am trying out these new Ecoline watercolor inks because when I originally made this drawing, I made it with markers, and so I wanted to test it out using the watercolor inks. And I got such a smoother finish using these inks. The color is way more even than markers, and no one is surprised. But I loved it, and I was able to use my pastel pencils right over it, no problem, didn't even have to wait. And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time. So as you can see, I'm going to replay the ending, which is the most crucial part. Both the clip and the audio loops perfectly and seamlessly. So you kind of don't know where it's starting or ending. I mean, you kind of know because there's a bit of a storyline, but it's really, really seamless. And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time, you see? So I'm going to show you exactly how to create that. First things first, I have the project open here. So this is a reminder, you can actually go ahead and download the project files right in the description of this video or in the Adobe live chat. Make sure to come over to Behance and watch that. But you can download those project files and follow along as we edit and kind of tinker with the files yourself to make sure that you're getting everything from this lesson. But let's go. I'm going to close this project and show you exactly how to get started if you're not sure how to even get to this part where we have a sequence and everything. Okay, so now there's no project here. I'm going to reopen Premiere Pro. So if you're launching your project, this is what would happen, right? You're going to create a new project. And for the sake of the stream, I'm going to save it on my desktop as sample project 00 loop. But you should save it in a folder and start creating some sort of hierarchy, which I'll show you in a second. So once you create it, this is where it leaves you. You're in the workspace, the editing workspace, which is great. It's my favorite workspace. It's the editing workspace. I find it to be the least overwhelming when you are new. But if yours doesn't look like this for some reason, things are out of place, don't worry, go to workspace and then hit here, window, workspace, reset to save layout. It'll bring you to this exact view. From here, I'm going to minimize this a little bit just so that you can see exactly what's going on. You want to have a project hierarchy that looks like this, right? You want to have project file, a footage file, folder, a project folder, a footage folder, and then a music folder. And from there, it's great because you can actually go ahead and drag this in. See where it says import media to start right here, import media to start. So you can just, from your Finder, from your OS system, you can just drag it in and it will start importing. I have a few PDFs there that aren't supported. Those are for you, they're instructions. If you go ahead and download the project source files, you'll see those. But that's how you get the footage and the music right into your project. So I recommend setting up this kind of folder structure so that you can keep your project nice and tidy. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead and quit this because I already have a whole project set up that I want to show you and run you through. So I'm not going to save it. Okay, let's get back to the real project, which is this one right here. I want to take you through this because I have everything rendered and everything will just be so much faster for our purposes. Okay, so if you go to the start sequence, you'll see that I have like the middle of the reel of the TikTok created, right? That's like the storyline, but I don't have the beginning. There's nothing here in the beginning and there's nothing here at the end. So because these are This is the area that's like key to create that seamless loop. So I'm going to show you how to edit it. But a lot of it does come down to filmmaking. So you want to capture a clip that is easy to work with. So something coming in and out of frame, a book opening or closing, which is the example that we have right here. Let me show you that. So this is a clip that I've decided is going to be my looping clip that's going to create that seamless loop. It's just one clip that I'm strategically cutting up for the end and the beginning to give that seamless loop. All right. So let me play you this clip. I'm not going to play you the whole thing, but right about here. Okay, I'm going to play you the whole thing. So this clip starts like this, closes, opens back up. That's going to be perfect for the ending and then the beginning again, right? So remember that this comes down a little bit to filmmaking, and make sure that you shoot a clip that you're able to work with in this way. Once you have a clip that you think will work, a really easy example that I can give is like if you're waving, because you can use a wave as a goodbye and a wave as a hello, right? So you're able to then use that clip of you waving as both an outro and an intro, which is what you want. Okay, so here's how we work with this. We have this clip, and you want to double click it, and you'll pull it up here in your source panel, right? So once you're in this source panel, you can select the segment of the clip that you want to bring into your sequence. If you don't have a sequence because you're working from scratch, let me quickly show you how to create a sequence. So if you don't have a sequence, it'll look like this, but I already showed you how to import your footage. So after you drag and drop your footage to create a sequence, you grab any of these clips, which it could look like this, or it could look like this. These are just different views of the same thing. You just click and drag. Just like that, you have created your sequence. Great, wonderful. You'll see that the sequence has this icon right here, as opposed to the little like film icon. That's how you know it's a sequence. And I always go ahead and create a bin that's called sequence so that you can organize your sequences together. That way you're not shuffling through to find them. So to do that, you just select this new bin icon, and you can, oops, I'm creating a bin inside of a bin. I don't want that. Here we go. Oops. There we go. So then I'll do it. Sequence. This is just an example for you guys, but that's how you create a bin, and then you can just drag anything in there. I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I already have one created, but that's how you would accomplish that. Okay. So here's the sequence that I created as a sample to show you. You can double click to rename it. So we can say new sequence, because that was me showing you how to create a sequence in case you don't know how to do that. But in our case, I already have this starter sequence created, which is the one that we're going to work with to show you exactly how to loop this. So let's delete that sequence that we created, the extra sequence, and let me show you. So once you have the footage selected of the video, let me rephrase that, you guys. Once you have the clip selected, it'll show up in your source file right here in your source monitor. And from there, you can just double click it and then select the part that you want to include, right? So I would just think of the ending. You're going to have the first part be the ending and then the beginning, or reverse, right? So I'm going to select, I want this part to be the ending. So when you want to select a segment of that clip, you hit I, and that marks the end point for that clip. Then you can just scrub through it with your mouse. And then I want it to like start there and there. So I'm going to mark O on the keyboard, and that marks the out point. So once you select the in and out point, that selects that segment for that clip. And that's the clip that you want to bring into your timeline, right? For my case, I don't need to bring in the audio. There actually isn't even any audio in this clip. It's just silent. So I'm just going to hover my little cursor over this film. You guys see that film icon there? That's going to drag the video only. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hover over it, click, and drag into my sequence. Now I've selected and brought in this clip. Perfect. That's what we want to do. So once we're in here, Once we're in here, we just zoom in. You can just zoom in going like this. And you want to select the part that's going to be the intro and the outro, but you want it to be seamless, right? So you got to make sure that basically it's just a strategic way to cut one clip. So I want this part to be the ending right up to there. And then I want the next part to be the intro, right? So let's see. Right about there, let's say. So if you press C on your keyboard, it'll give you the razor tool. That's just a little shortcut. Or you can click here and then we'll just cut it right there at the playhead, right? So this is going to be the ending, closes, and then opens again. Okay, this part is extra, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Now I'm going to click and hover. That's not what I mean. Click and drag to select both clips and bring them over. So you want this outro clip, right? Is the beginning of this clip is the outro. I'm going to click it and drag it into the rest of my sequence so that everything starts to make sense with the rest of my timeline. And I notice that it doesn't quite meet the other clip, right? It's okay. I can just drag it because the clip is longer. This is why you always want to record a little extra. Okay. Now, before we move into the intro, let me check out what's going on here in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. Yes, Reverb Mic, it is an open and shut case. Exactly. I am kind of showing you the simplest way to create the seamless loop. And it's all about how you film. Hey, everyone, if you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them as we go along. Okay, so now we have the outro. Now we have this clip here that we know we want to be in the beginning. You never want to kind of like move this part because then you start getting into the original clip and that's going to be really messy. So once you make that cut, you really don't want to how do I say this? The in between of this clips, kind of like that seam of those clips, you don't want to move either seam because then you'll break the seamlessness of the clip. So you don't want to do that. So if you need to extend anything, only extend from the other end, not the end that plays into the next clip. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we're going to bring this one over. And look what happened. It's a little short. Let me show you. It's a little short, right? But this is not a huge deal. I'm going to open it up for you guys. This isn't a huge deal because I can drag the beginning to the beginning so that when it seamlessly loops, it will all match up and I can just drag this end over. Perfect. Okay, so let's play that through. In order to have Adobe Premiere play this loop seamlessly, what you want to do in playback is make sure you mark your in and out point in the actual sequence. So move your playhead to the beginning and hit I, and then move your playhead to the end of your sequence where you want it to end, right? Hit O, and that'll mark the in and out point on your actual sequence. So this is the same method that we use to mark the in and out points of the segments of our clip that we wanted to bring into our project. Okay, once you have that selected, it's not going to automatically loop. And that's what I like to do with my, it just ends there. You want it to loop so you can start seeing all the magic come together, right? So what you need to do is hit, if you don't have this already, I already have the button here, but I'm going to show you how you do it in case you don't have it. You hit this button editor right there, and that's going to bring up a menu of buttons. Okay, if you don't have it already in your menu here, you'll see it appear right here. You want this loop playback button. You want to click on it and drag it down to the menu, and it'll appear down here. Now you hit OK, and now you have that, right? So that's the button that you need to make sure you have. Once you have brought that into the menu, you click it and activate it so it turns blue, and now it's actually on. So let's see it all work together. I'm going to mute the sound just so, yeah, I'm going to mute the sounds because I'm going to show you how to loop the audio too. And the beginning and the end played seamlessly. Let me show you one more time. I think I accidentally left the clip there when we were working, when I originally created it. So let me get that, move this over like that. Perfect. All right, so now it just loops seamlessly. I hope you guys can tell what I'm talking about. The outro and the intro just blend right into each other, which is exactly what we wanted to accomplish. Now, the other little trick, besides making sure you have this loop playback button activated, because otherwise you won't be able to preview it looping. And so then you won't know if the loop is actually working until you export it, which is like, what a drag, right? You want to make sure you know that already. The other thing that you can do is record audio that loops alongside the video, right? This way you actually have a audio that's looping too and making that kind of the story just continue and be very, very circular. So to accomplish that, it's a bit strategic because you have to write something that you know you can end with and start with. So I'm going to show you what I did here, and I'll play it through and then teach you guys exactly how to do this. And that's what I like to do with my time. Sometimes it doesn't play through super smoothly, but I hope you do with my time. It says sketchbook time. So it says, and that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time. And sketchbook time is right at the beginning. So it makes for a kind of natural. It's not the most natural, but it could be a intro, right? Sketchbook time. Just like that. So in order to do that, all you have to do, I'm going to show you over here. I'm going to press Option X to remove my in and out points just so that I can show you guys how to record that. So in order to record, you need to figure out what you want to say that is loopable like that. But it's usually just taking a sentence and putting the beginning of that sentence at the end and the end of that sentence in the beginning. That way, when it reads through, it's seamless. So in order to record that, all you have to do is actually hit this little microphone icon and you'll be able to record a voiceover directly into Premiere Pro. This is truly like one of my favorite things about Premiere Pro is that I can record directly in here and start editing. So I really recommend using this. What I like to do is actually move my playhead to like an empty area, right? You can record it exactly where you need, but because we're creating a seamless loop, you kind of need a little bit of wiggle room and need space to play a little bit. So in that case, I usually just like record off to the side here. And as soon as you hit this button, if you press right click, voice over record settings, we have some settings here. So you can actually switch these up if you need to. You want to make sure that your source input and output is correct. I'm not going to mess with these because I want to make sure you can still hear me. And from here, you can also turn on the countdown sound cues, which will give you like a beep like that to count you down. I'm going to turn them on so you can hear them. Then we also have the pre-roll. So this is going to give you a countdown, a visual countdown. It goes 3, 2, 1 to show you when you can start talking. And then the post-roll, you can turn that on. I leave it on. Once you have those settings selected, you can just press close. And let me show you how I record, right? So I move my playhead off to the side. And then I just hit this little voiceover mic and start recording directly into the mic. Oh, right now there's a little bit. I'm going to make sure that you can see it. I'm zooming in so you can see the countdown timer. When we're zoomed out on the vertical video, sometimes it's too little, you can't see it. It'll show up here on the program monitor. I forgot what I was going to say, you guys. I was going to say, and that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time. And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time. So you want to make sure that when you say it, you kind of end it on a high note, because if you're going to put that on the intro, you don't want to say it on a down note. It's going to sound really unnatural to that intro. So even though that might not read completely natural, in order to make it loopable, that's kind of what you have to do, is make sure you end your sentence going up instead of going down. So I could have said, and that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time. But then that's going to be weird, because if I say sketchbook time as the opener, that's just not going to sound right. So I hope you get what I'm saying. I know you get what I'm saying. So let me zoom in here and let's play it back. Oh, and to stop recording, you can just press space bar and that'll stop recording. Let's play it back.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
All right. So I hit C on the keyboard to trim all that excess. All right. I'm going to delete it. And now I have that tight clip.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
So something like that. Hey, Anika in the chat. So good to see you here. Hey, everyone. Okay. So I can now move that right here. Let me play back. So I want to cut the part that's going to be my outro, right? So that's going to be the first part of this clip is going to be the outro.
And that's what I like to do with my.
So that's what I want to be the outro. And then the rest is the intro.
Sketchbook time.
Perfect. So I'm going to, I have it from when I previously did it in your sample project. You can see it, but we're redoing it. Okay, and then I'm going to select this clip and move it to the beginning. So let's see. I'm going to set my in and out points once again so that the project is looping. You want to make sure that your out point is exactly where you want it to be. Otherwise, you're going to have like a bit of a pause where you don't want there to be a pause. I hit the loop playback button once again. Let me stretch this out and stretch this out over here. Okay, so I'm going to make that timeline a little smaller or bigger. All right, so let's see if it works. I may have to render the audio files.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
Boom. Oh, I had this zoomed in. Let's play that one more time, you guys.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
Oh, I moved it. Oh, guys, you probably saw that as I was editing. I had the out point in the wrong spot. There we go.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
Like that. So to make this a little smoother, I could cut this clip so that, you know, everything is a little bit more seamless. Let me show you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna cut that previous clip in the final sequence, which is the one that I know you guys have already. Here, let me pull it up actually, because I'm like recutting this whole sequence and I don't need to be doing that. Okay, here we go. So this is the final result using the same exact tools. I just have it all timed out properly to wait.
And that's what I like to do with my time.
For some reason, this audio doesn't like to play exactly at the beginning, but trust me, it is looping just like the other one. Let me open it up like that.
And that's what I like to do with my time.
Bizarre. Let me see. That could be worse or better.
Like to do with my sketchbook time.
There we go. So one more time. Wait.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
So you want to make sure that whatever you're recording is loopable so that you're able to kind of loop it. If you say something that is like too definitive, like, and that was my day, if that was a sentence, and that was my day, then there's nowhere to cut it that could possibly be an intro. So that's up to you in terms of scripting and getting creative. And I'm sure once you start watching these videos all over TikTok, all over Reels, you'll get kind of a better understanding of that. But that really comes down to how you are going to kind of work it. And then one last little thing I want to show you is that if you need to, you can actually open up Frame.io, which is one of the new tools in Adobe Premiere Pro. So right here, you can continue with your Adobe ID. Let's do a new project. Sample. And now from here, if I want to send this video out to someone so they can review it and give me feedback and tell me if they like that loop, all I have to do is hit upload, active sequence. I already have my in and out points marked, which I showed you exactly how to do, and hit auto version and hit upload. Oh, I didn't set the location, so I'm going to set it right in the project. Okay, save. And it will start just uploading and it will launch Adobe Media Encoder, but that's not a big deal. That encodes in the background just like this. It's really fast. There you go. There you go. And this is one of the best ways to send your project to someone. So once it renders and uploads, you'll be able to share that link to anyone and they can leave some feedback. So let's let that do that. But I wanted to go ahead and also, while I have you here, just one more time, show you how that loops.
And that's what I like to do with my sketchbook time.
There you go. And then the meat of the video.
Today in my sketchbook,
it's a bit distracting, but you'll see it. That's the full video. So now it's uploading to the cloud. And from there, if I click share, it'll render a link. And that link is shareable with anyone. They don't even have to have a Frame.io account. They can just open it and start commenting directly on the project. Let me show you right here. It's almost done. So if we click share for review, it'll give me this link. And I can open a new window right here, drop this link in. And now I can leave feedback. This is another account that I have with Frame.io, and you can leave some feedback directly in here. I think right now it's taking a second to render, but I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys how to do that. That's a really easy way right here. And when someone leaves a comment, you can just respond and edit. So remember, this is super handy. Make sure you use that. So make sure, I hope you guys learned so much from this tutorial. You can now endlessly loop your videos. So make sure to join our Discord channel and drop your projects right in there, and check out the description below for all the resources. Thank you so much for joining me in this stream, and I will see you next time.